Season 20 of Grandmaster Nightfalls is upon us, and first up, we have a battleground turned Grandmaster. The Mars Battlegrounds is one of the newest additions to the GM rotation, and is one of the most difficult Grandmasters we have this season. This Nightfall is loaded with adds, and requires some serious coordination to make it through the boss room. So today, we'll be covering the best team comp, loadouts, and positioning strategies to conquer what many consider to be the hardest Grandmaster since Lightblade. I'm Above, and if you enjoyed today's video, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. Now, let's get into it. Starting with my recommended team comp, we went with two Well of Radiance Warlocks rocking Starfire Protocol and a Strand Hunter with Aeon Swifts, but you can substitute this for any of the Strand subclasses of your choosing. Starfire Warlocks offer top-tier survivability and ad clear, which are two of the most important elements of this GM. This Grandmaster is also Solar Surge, which makes their fusion grenades even more potent. Strand Crowd Control is arguably the MVP of this Grandmaster, as it helps ease the pressure and add dense choke points, and covers both barrier and unstoppable champions. Since we already have 3 ways to suspend on Hunter, I went with Aeons for a guaranteed method of machine gun ammo, which will help supplement bricks from beyond and the heavy boxes that are present in this Grandmaster. As for weapon loadouts, we use 2 Wither Hordes for ad control and to feed our Warlock's fusion grenade regen. And though Wither Hordes don't stack with one another, they're incredibly useful for ad control throughout this Grandmaster. Our Hunter utilized Wish Ender as a backup form of barrier stuns, and we paired this with 2 unstoppable scout rifles, 1 waveframe grenade launcher, and 3 void machine guns for ad clear. Even though it's Solar Surge, Volatile Flow is simply too good to pass up on. Pair this with the fact that machine guns are overcharged by 25%, and they're absolutely annihilating everything in this Grandmaster. This Nightfall is all about ad clear, and machine guns will essentially act as our primary weapons with the setup we have today. Strand neutralizes both champion types, and we have backup forms of barrier and unstop across the fire team if we ever need it. Though we don't have DPS oriented weapons, fusion grenades do more than enough damage to make up for it. If you don't have Wither Horde, waveframes and blinding grenade launchers also do extremely well here, and you can even sub in weapons like Osteostriga for grenade regen if you need it. As for key armor mods, in the artifact we have Volatile Flow, which grants void weapons volatile rounds when picking up an orb of power, bricks from beyond to produce heavy ammo when defeating powerful combatants with void weapons, and heavy ammo finder and scout to maximize our ammo drops even further. This Grandmaster has a solar threat associated to it, which means that Acolyte grenades will deal 25% more damage than usual. We also have to deal with Arc Wizards and Knights that deal insane amounts of damage as well, which is why I recommend running a solar and arc resist on your chest piece to counter this incoming damage boost. I also recommend running 2 surge mods and 1 recuperation mod on your boots to ensure that you always have a 17% damage boost on your machine guns, while also granting yourself health regen every time you pick up an orb of power, while also giving you Volatile Flow. Diving right into the Nightfall, head right towards the A cap point and begin clearing adds. The main thing to note here is that you don't actually want to cleanse the Seraph Tower of the Hive Infestation until all of the adds have been cleared. Once the area is secure, break the seal, and position yourselves to spawn kill the Death Tongue, which will appear on the far side of the arena, directly in front of the Warmind in the background. Spawn killing this enemy means that the Shrieker will never open, which makes this part significantly easier. This enemy also suppresses your abilities if left alive too long, which is why it should be your top priority. Once dead, make your way back towards the buildings across from you and set up on the first rooftop. The main thing to note here is that you do not need to stand in the circle of the towers to progress, you simply need to keep adds off of it to restore the towers. We tested several spots, and this rooftop is by far the safest location. It's too high for adds to jump onto, which means they'll funnel to the staircase that wraps behind the building for easy pickings. Place slightly back from the edge, as it will prevent adds from having a direct line of sight on you, which makes the 2 unstoppable champions easy pickings with Strand. Once most of the adds have been cleared, a Warmonger Knight will spawn on the building directly behind you. If you break line of sight for a second, it will actually just jump off the building, allowing you to kill it with virtually no threat to you at all. Next, we'll make our way over to the B cap point, where we'll break the seal and position ourselves on this staircase near the cliffside. This gives us a perfect line of sight on ad spawns and enough cover to clear this area with ease. Just make sure to cycle your wells properly, and this area should pose little threat to you. There will be one barrier knight and one unstoppable ogre, so make sure to get finishers on both of them if you're low on ammo. As we make our way to the C cap point, clear the area, then break the seal once again. We'll position ourselves on this walkway behind the Seraph Tower as it provides a decent amount of cover and perfect line of sight on all ad spawns. As you can see, we're just spamming our machine guns this entire time because we've had enough ammo with the heavy ammo crates, as well as pairing it with finishers and bricks from beyond. There will be an unstoppable champion that spawns directly to your left, but Strand makes this easy pickings. Once we've cleared the area and all 3 towers have been restored, pick up the laser core and clear the path to the next encounter. As we make our way inside, there will be 2 champions waiting for us on the back left-hand side of the room. Strand makes light work of these, allowing you to get finishers to restock on ammo. Start by scanning your ghost, then head left and pop a well of radiance. Ads will spawn directly in front of you, and enemies will almost never flank you in this location. Once the hack progression reaches 25%, an unstoppable ogre and barrier knight will spawn in. Take them out and continue cycling your wells during ad clear. At 50%, a second set of champions will spawn, along with node disruptors that will actually prevent your progress until they're killed. It is at this point that we want to reposition ourselves to the overlook on top of where we entered, because at 75%, an ogre boss and a massive wave of ads will spawn in. Repositioning gives us high ground and tons of cover, making this part extremely easy. There will be another disruptor that spawns to halt your progress, but I recommend waiting to kill it until all champions are dead. If you reach 100% before all champions have been killed, it will impact your platinum rewards. So once ready, take out the disruptor, and when we reach 100%, the door will open and we're moving on. The next area is virtually unchanged from the normal Mars Battleground. Dip in and out of cover to avoid the threat detection killing you, and make your way upstairs. There will be 2 barrier champions that spawn in this area, so get finishers if you need them, and when all of the ads have been cleared, the door will open. You'll now need to breach the submine vault by collecting 3 laser cores and breaking the seals on the vault itself. I like to start with the one on top of the doorway, while my teammate heads right to collect the second core. These cores have few enemies guarding them, but there will be ads spawning near the vault door, so feel free to use a well for ad clear if you need it. You'll get your supers back at the start of the boss fight regardless, so there's no harm in using them. The left core does actually have several ads surrounding it, so as you head over to collect the orb, I recommend using the lift for cover. Take out the sniper, then suspend the remaining enemies and collect the last core to open the vault, which will take us to the boss fight. As you scan your ghost, the boss fight will begin. Kelgarath will spawn directly in front of you and is extremely aggressive, which is why you'll want to be moving at all times. There will be 2 wizards that spawn on either side of the boss, which should absolutely be your top priority. Assign 1 person to ad clear on each side of the arena, while one of the warlocks takes boss aggro and baits it around the room. You can jump over the boss's head and Icarus dash to bait out the boss's slam attack, which should do no damage to you if done correctly. This is a way to control an otherwise sporadic boss, while your teammates can focus on ad control. As the warlock baits the boss, they can also passively damage with wither horde and fusion grenades, which will prompt ad spawns that your teammates should be able to take care of rather easily. There is a boss cheese on the back left-hand side of the arena, but it will likely be patched, similar to the cheese spot in Proving Grounds when it was released last year. So I want to prepare you guys with a strategy that will hold up long term. When the boss reaches 50% health, a barrier and unstoppable champion will spawn in. You don't want to focus these right away, however, because they're joined by a massive wave of ads that can easily overrun your team. I recommend stunning the champions with Strand, then rotating to one side of the arena and clearing ads as a team. The boss is extremely slow during this phase, which means that as long as you keep an eye on its positioning, it poses little threat to you. Clear the area, then focus the champions in the middle of the arena. arena. Strands should help keep them at bay as you clear the room and make them easy pickings when you're ready to kill them. It is at this stage that Arc Knights will begin dropping arc energy when you kill them that will need to be deposited in the center of the arena to break the boss's shield. We'll need to dunk 5 of these, and the biggest mistake you can make is forcing a dunk when enemies are guarding the deposit. Use your abilities to your advantage here, and time your dunks by playing as a fire team to secure them safely. Once you've dunked all 5 orbs, the boss's shield will be lowered, and it will return to its frantic state where we'll need to bait the boss once again. Rinse and repeat the process from the first phase, and when the boss is decently low, you can group up and nuke the boss, making the Mars Battlegrounds Grandmaster Nightfall, God that's a mouthful, a GG. If you found this guide useful, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. You can also catch me live at twitch.tv/above, where I'll be doing GM helps all season long. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.